All right, let's just jump right in. Today, we're talking about something, well, something pretty radical. It's a system for protecting your most valuable and, let's be honest, your most vulnerable asset, your attention. And look, this isn't your typical list of productivity hacks. No, no, this is about building a literal fortress for your mind.
So let's kick things off with this quote. And man, is it a gut punch. It just nails the central struggle of our lives, right? The massive gap between the mind we could have, focused, clear, powerful, and the one most of us are actually dealing with every single day. I mean, really think about it. Every ping from your phone, every coworker tapping you on the shoulder, every tiny little decision you're forced to make, it's like a constant raid on your brain's resources. And what our source material calls this is chaos, both inside your head and out in the world. It's this nonstop, low-level friction that just saps your energy and makes that deep, meaningful work almost impossible. So that leads us to the big question. And it's not some, philosophical thing to ponder. It's a straight-up strategic question. And the answer we're going to explore isn't about just coping with the chaos. It's about engineering your way out of it completely. And that right there brings us to the core idea. The philosophy here is you don't just tolerate distractions. You don't just try to ignore them. You build a fortress against them, a personal, custom-built operating system just for your brain. Okay, get this. The definition here is key. A flow fortress isn't a room or a building. It's a system. The source calls it a sovereign cognitive architecture. I mean, how cool is that? It basically means it's an environment that you design, that you control for your own mind to just perform at its absolute best. It's all about turning that external noise, all that chaos, into a clean, usable signal. Okay, so every fortress has rules, right? And this one is governed by a set of what are called unassailable laws. You can think of these as your non-negotiables. They're these super efficient principles designed to just get rid of all the friction. Like take no hello, no goodbye. That sounds harsh, right? But it's not about being rude. It's about eliminating the mental cost of those little social rituals when you're deep in the zone. Or output only. That means your job is to create, to produce, not waste time explaining what you're doing unless somebody actually asks. And autonomy first. That's huge. It's a promise to stay in your lane and trust your team to stay in theirs. Every single one of these laws is a deliberate wall you build to protect that precious attention. All right, so this all sounds pretty abstract. I get it. But the key thing to remember is that this isn't just some theory. This way of thinking actually leads to real-world stuff, to totally different ways of getting things done. Let's look at a couple of actual examples. First up, let's see how this fortress idea can become a physical thing. Enter a concept from the source called GhostBuds TWEM. You can basically think of them as a wearable privacy shield designed to make you invisible to all that modern surveillance that's, well, everywhere. And this slide with the numbers, it just perfectly shows the mindset behind it all. It's not just a cool idea, it's a practical tool that solves a very real modern problem. And look at that margin. The total cost to make it is under $30, but it solves a $99 problem for someone. That's smart. So with just a double tap, bam, you've got a 30-foot force field around you that jams unwanted microphones with ultrasonic noise and messes with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth trackers. It's literally a physical fortress wall for your personal space. So a fortress can be a piece of hardware you wear, but this idea goes way beyond just physical gadgets. It's about how you actually work. And the source material draws this really clear line in the sand between two kinds of people, the flow player and the non-flow player. So you've got the flow player. This is the person operating from inside their fortress. They move with this incredible efficiency. They find a rhythm and just lock in. They see patterns nobody else does. They can switch tasks without losing an ounce of momentum. And then you have the non-flow player. And, well, we've all been this person, right? Constantly stopping and starting, losing time trying to remember where you were, getting tripped up by a million tiny choices. And here's why this is so important. In the real world, the difference between these two isn't just about being a little faster. It's everything. It's about the quality of your work, your ability to create something new. And honestly, it's about your entire career. The fortress is what makes the difference. So this whole idea keeps building, right? It scales up. If a flow fortress is an operating system for one person's mind, what happens when you build an entire physical place for a whole group of people who think this way? Well, then you get the flow factory. The Flow Factory is this concept for a 21-day, totally immersive experiment. Think of it like a pop-up society, just for a handful of creators, that is engineered from the ground up, for one thing and one thing only: pure, collective, uninterrupted creative flow. And if you thought the personal laws were intense, check out the rules for the factory. They are absolute. The goal is to just strip away every single possible distraction, both the external ones and the ones inside your own head. No phones, no clocks, no social duties, no "how was your weekend?" The only thing that's left is you and the work.
And get this, it's not just about rules. The very architecture of the place is a system. You come in through an arrival portal, there's a smash room where you can literally just let go of all your stress. Then you move through these different zones designed to take you from that high energy state down into a state of deep, calm, productive focus. It's a literal, physical journey designed to get you into a flow state.
Okay, so here's the big takeaway from all of this. The Flow Fortress, it's not a product you can just go buy. It's not a 5-step method you can just copy. It is a challenge. It's a call to action.
This quote from the source just says it all. It completely flips the whole idea of self-improvement on its head. We're moving from self-help to self-engineering. You're not a student who needs a coach. You are an architect, and your job is to design a system that works for your own unique brain. And that really is what this all comes down to. It leaves us with one final, very provocative question. This whole framework isn't a manual. It's a challenge. It's asking you to take a hard look at your own life, your own work, your own mind, and to decide, what kind of fortress are you going to design? What are the laws that will govern your mind? You are the architect. So, what will you build?